I'm Rebecca Spira, up next on Mirror Mirror.
Going grey doesn't have to be a headache anymore. In fact, you should be able to really rock your style.
Our beauty team makes over 2 silver-haired bombshells and shares their hair and makeup tips to looking grey and glamorous.
For many women, going gray may seem like a burden, but it doesn't have to be. Today, we're going to show 2 women, Susan and Carole, that going gray is beautiful.
About 5 years ago, I had chemotherapy and lost all of my hair. When it came back, my hair came back gray. Old people had gray hair, and I never saw myself as one of those old people.
When you look at your hair, what are your issues and concerns with it?
So right now, it's very flat, and the texture of the hair is different. Every hair is a little bit different.
What do you want to look like?
Something current, something more youthful.
I naturally started going grey when I was about 23, so I coloured it until about 5 years ago.
So gray hair does not have to mean old looking.
Oh God, I hope not. Because I'm grey. I don't want to be considered old, and I'm in front of people all the time presenting, and I don't want to look like I'm old. So I think it can look very young. The problem is my hair has always been fine, and when I coloured it, it had more body from the colour. Once going grey, I realised that it's just so fine, and it lays flat. It has no body to it.
Today, international stylist Felicity Blake, salon owner David Bamford, and makeup artist Aubrie Layne are taking Susan and Carole from gray to glam.
Taking that step to be grey is really owning how mature and how sexy and how wonderful you are.
Felicity starts with treatments.
So Susan has some other added challenges that we often see when people go grey. Lots of times it changes texture and becomes a little bit more brittle or a little bit more wiry. In Susan's case, she actually had the added challenge of what happens to your hair after chemotherapy. We're going to be using a product called Young Again. This is all about restoring the hair and giving the hair the strength and the flexibility and the moisture retention, and all of the ingredients in this product are going to do that.
Ingredients include bamboo for shine, baobab tree to replenish hair, and lotus to add moisture and strengthen the hair.
If you think about it, it's really about when you age, your skin gets a little bit, loses elasticity and life, and that's exactly what happens to hair when it goes grey as well. So these products are really about making it supple and plump and hydrated again.
For Carole, Felicity chooses a different regimen.
Just one of these maxi wash shampoo is just going to give it a nice exfoliation. Sometimes products will make the hair or the grey colour look a little bit discoloured, even a little bit yellow. So this is going to be great to remove that off the surface of the hair. Just like we want to keep our whites whiter, we want to keep our greys brighter. This is a great product because it has optical brightness in it. It's got vitamins, essential oils and amino acids, and the great thing about the vitamins is that they're going to thicken the hair up to 10%. The key ingredient is lavender. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a product that's going to put back all of the omega-3, 6 and 9s, which is what keeps us plump and hydrated in our skin. Now we're going to use it on the hair to keep that really nice and plump and hydrated and really make it look young and fresh, which is what every grey-haired woman wants.
While their hair processes, both women are off to makeup with Aubrie because when the hair color changes, so should the makeup. With Carole, Aubrie focuses on her complexion.
I'm going to use a tinted moisturizer on her to even out her rosiness and also protect the skin with a sunscreen.
Next, blush.
When you have a little rosiness in your skin, you want to choose more of a browny coral shade. When applying your cheek color, it's important to find your cheekbone first instead of choosing the apple area. This is where the blush should start by blending upwards and counteracting this orbital bone area. This brings the face up.
Use a brownie coral color on lips too.
This is very flattering on silver or graying hair. I'm applying the lip color without a lip pencil to give it a more natural effect.
And a quick tip on brows.
When you're filling in your eyebrows, it's important to start in the right spot. First, start at the highest point of the brow and go out first, and then go in. Almost everyone I know literally starts right here and it can make the brow too dramatic. And that's how you get a nice lifted brow effect. I call it free Botox.
For Susan, Aubrie pays most attention to her eyes.
A lot of women start using less makeup or lighter colors on the eyes, thinking that less is more when they get older. Well, it's actually the opposite.
Make sure to define the top lashes with black or dark brown.
I'm going to define the lashes with the gel lighter, coming from underneath the lashes and then also on top of the lashes, just by tapping it. This makes it easier than doing a straight solid line with a pencil. A great way to make the eyes pop with very little product is using a very neutral matte colored eyeshadow base and then using a single color like a lavender with a lot of white in it, which is really going to brighten the eye. I'm going to apply it right in the center of her eyelid. A great way to curl the lashes is to use a heated lash curler because this tends to get the stubborn ones and makes the lashes curl even easier. And now finish with mascara.
Next, brows.
You should choose a taupe shade and nothing that has any browns in it. You want to go lighter, and a soft blonde or taupe shade is best. And we've actually used a tinted brow gel and brow powder on her for a natural looking defined brow.
When we return.
So if I'm going to have longer hair, I want it to at least have some layers, some lift.
Susan and Carole head to David for cut and styling tips.
Feels very smooth.
And the reveal as these gray gals go from drab to fab.
So what was it like when you actually went fully gray, when you looked in the mirror?
It was really interesting because a lot of my family was so mad, like, you can't go gray at this age, you're too young.
It's not shiny, it's dull, and it looks like an old woman, an old lady.
Oh.
Both Carole and Susan decided to embrace their gray hair, but maintaining and styling it has been challenging. Stylist Felicity Blake treated their strands, makeup artist Aubrie Layne changed their makeup, and now salon owner David Bamford is ready to cut and style.
Today I'm going to put in Kevin Murphy's Staying Alive spray. It's like a vitamin spray which can make the hair about 10% thicker. It's an amazing product. It's got pepper oil in it, so it smells incredible. I think once you've gone grey, it's really important with your hair to keep soft structure to it, meaning normally by the time your hair has gone grey, you've kind of lost some cheekbones and your neckline's not as sharp as it was. So you can create that with the haircut, but still keep light layers in it to give it movement, because the last thing you want is just to hang there and look really old and haggard. Nobody wants that. So I think what we'll do too is I'll probably give you like a side part, so friends a bit sweepy. Keep the length kind of really, maybe like a little bit shorter, but really open up the middle of your face, and so the hair has some swing to it.
After the cut, one more product.
I'll also be using Young Again, which is a heat protector. It gives the hair shine, it gives it luster, and gives it some flexibility and movement, because you want your grey hair to look young.
Then the blow dry.
Susan, you look stunning. How are you feeling about this transformation?
I like it. It turns out it's actually very glamorous looking.
It is. You went from gray, kind of dull,
Yes.
kind of blah,
Right.
to glamorous.
There you go. Exactly. No, I like it a lot.
Do you think you'll be using these products and these tips for yourself now?
Absolutely.
Next, the finishing touches for Carole.
I'm going to put anti-gravity spray just on her roots, which is a light, very light root lifter and volumizer. And on the mid-lengths and ends, I'm going to use a product called Full Again. It's going to even out the thickness from the roots to the mid-lengths to the ends, so that way the hair will look nice and full again. We've encouraged you to grow and get a tiny bit more length just in here, so you get a little bit more shape and structure through the sides there.
David starts the blow dry.
So once you've round brushed it, it's really nice to go through it and just shape it up a little bit more natural with your fingers. It gives it a more youthful sort of finish.
Carole, I can already tell your hair looks so much more vibrant than it did. How are you feeling?
I feel great. It's got so much more body than it had before, and it's softer, and it, you know, even as a work in progress, because we're trying to grow it down a little bit more, it just looks, I think it looks great.
Going grey is really about showing who you are, that really confident, sexy, grey-haired woman that can still swing her hair back and look glamorous.
For more, go to liveonnetwork.com.